What's up, you turkeys? Mark Ricard of Vox Academy here. And today, we're doing something kind of fun. Because guess what? Today is laundry day. You can tell from my cool outfit. Boots and shorts. Yes, it is laundry day, and so we're going to do something different. We are going to review, react, respond to some American Idol, France Idol, Canada Idol, I don't know, Idol shows from all over the place. But let me tell you what we're going to be doing with these. So we're not just going to pull them up and be like, whoa, that person, they're not good at vocals. Haha, look at me, I'm so cool. No, because that doesn't really do anybody any good, does it? It's not helpful. Also, I'm sitting so far to the side. That's to make room for little doohickey that we'll have pretty soon here. No, the reason I'm doing this is because I think it'd be cool. You know, we always have like big name vocalists on the channel, or, well, I guess I should say vocalists who are very well established and well known and have their technique down really well, maybe one or two things to change. But we don't really talk a lot about beginners or maybe people who are up and coming. We don't really go into that. So I think it'd be cool to do that and then talk about if this was my first lesson with this person, how I would approach helping them out. So let's go ahead and do it. Now, okay, so now with some of these videos, some of them I've seen before in years gone by. Others I have not seen, but I scooched forward just to make sure they were doing like metal vocals as we on this channel tend to conceptualize them. This one I heard like a split second of the girl in the purple hair here, the young lady in purple hair, I should say, be polite. So let's go ahead. Let's see what's going on.
Called You Only Live Once, and all my band is here today to support me.
That's cool.
This audition.
Support your bandmate.
I know I don't have like the typical American Idol look, but I think that I could bring something different to the show.
And as Nikki finishes up award show.
All right, so she brings up an important point. She says she's not the typical American Idol material. Y'all, you gotta understand your demographic, and American Idol, it ain't it. But anyways, let's continue.
Rehearsals, our other three judges are full steam ahead.
Titanic.
Hi, baby. What's your name?
My name is Stephanie Sansa.
All right. And what are you going to sing tonight?
I'm gonna sing Adele, I Set Fire to the Rain.
Okay.
She's standing so, like, timidly. I wonder if she's, like, nervous.
Oh.
You set fire to the rain! What's your part?
Okay. Oh, shoot.
Woo, keep going that way. Keep going that way.
All right. Oh, she's still going. Never mind.
Keep going that way.
No! No!
Yes.
All right. So I made some cringy faces, not actually at her vocals, more at the attitude there. It looks like that's the end of it. Okay, so if this was my student, this was lesson 1, what would I do? Well, first thing, let's talk about her vocals a little bit. So the style she's going for isn't bad, right? It's kind of a it's more of like a punky, you sometimes can hear it in pop punk, but it's more of like a punky hardcore yell, like just basically a distorted belt. And it's hard to tell with her jumping around how her breathing looks. I mean, if we go back.
Keep going that way.
Yeah, like you can't see her inhale, her exhale is going to be all sorts of all over the place. She's jumping up and down. But what I would do is I would probably say like, hey, this is the style you want. I'm not going to change what you're doing. Let's work on making it a little bit better. So the first thing that we would do is we'd focus on diaphragm support, because if you are yelling from your throat, if you're belting from your throat, you're going to get through maybe like 3 songs of this. 4 if you've got a good, endurance and pain tolerance. But then kind of paired with diaphragm control, we'd probably talk a lot about frontal resonance, keeping that resonance nice and forward and in the front of the mouth, so that when you do go for that belt, you're not going to be having a ton of pain. because, you know, everything's nice and forward. Probably show her some anatomy diagrams as well so she could, see, I could point to where she should feel the distortion. But yeah, that's what I would do. Shame about the attitude. But we're all young and edgy at some point. Next video. All right, so this is actually like a compilation of a bunch of them, but I'm going to kind of scrub through and look at the ones that I think look the most interesting. Let's check this one out. From his face, he's not into it. Surprise. All right, I'm just going to pause here and say, like, as a metal vocal coach, I hear this, and I'm like, this is not good, but there's actually a lot of promise here. Let me tell you why there's promise there, okay? So what this guy's doing is he's basically got an extremely uncontrolled, extremely breathy false chord low. He's kind of going, and that don't feel good. Even me just doing it that way, the way he's doing it, it's got a tickle and it's got a sting in the throat. But here's the thing, all right? Here's the thing. This, if we take it and we move the resonance forward and the distortion, we kind of learn how to feel it more on the soft tissue. We kind of get here. You can already hear a difference. So down here where he was, up here, then we put some diaphragm underneath it, teach him how to compress, put a little oomph, and there you go. So this guy, I'd be happy if this was lesson number 1. I'd be like, dude, you practice daily and you commit, and if you're willing to do the hard work, we're going to get you there and you're going to be pretty good. So I'd be very happy if this was a student in lesson number 1. I'd see a lot of promise. I don't think he does anything else. Let's check. You can hear how the distortion breaks up a little bit as well. That can be damaging because basically what's happening is things are not vibrating and moving at a consistent rate. They're going to be irregular. They're going to slap together. It's not going to feel good. Let's skip this guy because this guy's been featured on YouTube's a lot. We're saving our black metal friend for last. Next video. I remember this guy. Obviously, I don't think Canadian Idol was airing down here, but I saw this video. I feel when this was more recent, and at the time, I was not doing the lessons or really listening to metal vocals from a coach, an instruction perspective. But I like the gauntlets. I like the jacket. Kind of like black metal, but classy. Let's see what this guy's got. I want to go a little bit, and let's go right there. I didn't catch it. Whatever. Doesn't have to be perfect.
The battle rages on and on, fueled by the venom of hatred for man, consistently without the eyes to see, for those who rebel, the rigor equally, queen of prosperity, of refusion seal, by the thunders of the northern wind, burn vocabulary, the essence of all, the thrill of our kind. Wow.
Wow is right. Okay, so a couple things. You can tell that this guy's actually not that bad. I'm going to be real. What he's doing is he's doing more of like a distorted speaking voice than he's doing like a musical metal vocal. That's not the worst thing in the world because, there are metal bands out there that do like the narrating. Carrick Angren. Interestingly enough, Carrick Angren also has like a classy black metal vibe. I can see them wearing gauntlets and jackets. Slice the Cake, right? They've done distorted speaking vocals. Gareth Mason, he has done that. I remember seeing him do it live in the UK. That was nuts when we played TechFest. So like if this was his first lesson, a lot of what we'd focus on would just be controlling what he has because you actually can hear right at the beginning where he loses the consistent distortion and it falls out briefly. And too much of that can be painful, but really it's just more about tightening up the technique. Listen, you can hear it right at the beginning.
The battle rages on and on.
When he says rages, the battle rages on and on. Check it out. You'll be able to hear it.
The battle rages on and on.
You hear that break? That's just control. That's all. That's control and practice. Now, he also did like these inhaled pig squeals. Let's hear those.
Hatred for man, consistently without the eyes to see. For those who rebel, the rigor of prosperity, of reputation seal.
I know there's a lot of stuff. Well, maybe not a lot, but I know that there is some stuff coming out right now. These days, I've seen that there are some TED Talks about inhaled vocals. I'm still not ready to like give them the thumbs up. However, I have been reading some stuff, and I do intend to look into it a little bit more, utilizing ye old Google Scholar. If that's not a tool you use, you should check it. You should check it out. Scholar.google.com. Basically, it's a way to search the internet for academic papers, and there's got to be one on inhaled vocals out there. But, all right. If this guy was in a lesson with me, really, like I said, we'd work on control. I would, probably say, hey, like, listen. Let's learn what you do on your own time is fine. Let's learn how to do those high kind of piggy sounds. Exhaled. I don't know why I'm stuttering. And he actually made a really cool sound at the very end that I want to just check out.
How many thunders of the north wind? The essence of all, the thrill of our kind.
Like that, actually, like that's kind of cool voice acting.
Of all, the thrill of our kind. Right there, like this, the thrill of our kind.
And you can do that. You can do that speaking voice. Some of my students, that's how we learn false chords. Not everybody, because some people, there are different ways to learn false chords. Different things work for different people. But, learning to make this voice right here. Like that can be a cool way to do it. Listen, if you're going to audition on American Idol, though, and do metal vocals, maybe do something with like a little bit more music. But I like this guy's face here. You can tell he's proud of himself. And he should be. He did a good job. There's work to be done, but he did a good job. Next video. I listened to a little bit of this one to make sure there are metal vocals. And I am going to just let this guy do his thing.
Okay.
Okay. So, yes. I mean, if we're talking about what I would do if I was in a first lesson with somebody. Now, generally, when I do lessons with people, I reach out to them ahead of time and I have them send me any recordings of themselves so I can get an idea for where they're at prior to the lesson. Sometimes they don't have the means to do that, and that's okay. And if, if I got in the Skype session or Discord or whatever, and this I was like, hey, scream for me. After we did some warm-ups, and this is what I heard, I would say, if you're wanting to do pure inhales, I might not be your guy. Just straight up. That's the thing. Like, when it comes to you finding a vocal coach, you got to pick the person who knows the genre that you want to do and, is well-versed in it, can perform it, at least to a good degree. But if he said, no, man, I want to turn these into exhales. Like, I know inhaling's not the best. I want to turn them into exhales. I would say, you got it. And we'd start ground zero. Because the thing about, inhaling, it's reversing the whole process. You treat your inhale as your exhale, and you like the refresh of the breath between phrases is going to be different. The resonance is going to feel different. So I basically just say, all right, step one, let's start with posture. Let's move into breathing and diaphragmatic support. Might take a while, but we could get this guy there. No doubt about it if he was willing to commit to it. Anyways, next video. Now this one's cool. I've seen it before. It's all in French. My apologies. If you can understand French, which I can understand a decent amount of what they're saying. Not everything, but I can understand a good portion of it. Enjoy. If not, we'll just kind of scoot ahead to the actual vocals here.
Bonsoir, mademoiselle.
Bonsoir.
Vous venez d'où?
De Grasse, les Alpes-Maritimes.
Et votre prénom?
Rachel.
Rachel.
Oui.
Et quel est votre talent?
Le chant.
Her name's Rochelle, and she sings. Here we go. Oh, I hear it.
Love me now. You're gonna waste to see my guiltiness. We're asleep on
Not bad.
silence and conversation.
Honestly, not bad.
Your body thinner in my head. Running cold pain. Let me. Rachel. Run never.
Demande quand même si elle a un petit ami.
It's really not bad, y'all.
Destroy me.
C'est quoi ça?
Yeah, did you hear how she changed her placement there? Not bad.
Destroy me.
C'est quoi ça? On appelle un exorciste.
He said call an exorcist.
Break me, constrain me, like an ninja falling on burning ground.
All right, so I'm gonna be real. If that was lesson one with a student, if she was a new student and she said, "Hey, this is what I got," I'd be like, "Hell yes." First of all, these are vocals that are clearly, and maybe she'll see this video on some weird off chance and be like, "No, you're wrong," and if so, I'll accept it. But I hear this and I hear vocals from somebody who has primarily practiced at home by themselves, doesn't have a lot of the terminology and technical knowledge, but can hear a sound and create the sound, not necessarily knowing what's going on. Like, sometimes it seems like she's trying to do a fry, other times it seems like she's trying to do a false chord. So I think if I got her in the classroom, I'd first of all say, like, what do you want to do? Like, what is your goal? And then we'd probably talk about that. Again, that's usually the conversation I like to have prior to the actual lesson, just so that when we get into the lesson, we can get right to work. But then I would probably focus on, moving the resonance up. That's, you hear me say that a lot because it's one of the most common things is that people, they think, oh, I'm making growly sounds. Sounds come from my throat. Therefore, I should feel it in my throat. Not the case. You're always going to feel a little bit in your throat. It's a myth that you'll feel 100% of it up out of your throat all the time. I shouldn't say it's a myth. Let me back up. Most people, unless your head and throat are just shaped perfectly, you're always going to feel a little bit of something down here, but the key is to feel it up off the vocal folds, because if there's vibration, there's motion, and if there's motion, we have nerve endings, and we feel it, right? She also has a decent handle on breath control and compression. She holds out that last vocal for a decent amount of time. Doesn't sound like she's running out of air. Let's listen again. I also don't see a lot of chest breathing, right? So she knows, she's got an idea of what's proper.
Break me, constrain me.
All right, I take it back. That was a big chest breath. My mistake.
Like an ninja falling on burning ground.
Yeah, so she's not bad. She's really not bad. She's got a strong foundation. She just needs to understand what the foundation is and then build on it. And that's a lot of what we would work on. Next video. All right. Now this one I have not heard at all, but it's Lamb of God. And so unless she's reinventing it, it's going to be metal vocals, right? If she's trying to stay true to form, we're going to have Fry vocals, a lot of Fry vocals. And let's see what happens. Video quality is nice. Let's go. You got this. Those Lamb of God riffs, right? So, all inhales. And here's my thing. And that's sometimes you run into that with people who listen to a lot of Fry vocals. They inhale because it sounds similar, right? But you can hear that her distortion is very slow. A good Fry, or at least what I enjoy when I hear a Fry, even though between false chord and Fry, I do enjoy the sound of Fry less. When I hear a good Fry, you hear such a crisp, clean, fast distortion. It's almost like TV static, like a sound. But with hers, it's very creaky and almost slow. Check it out. And very squeaky. A lot of like squeakiness to it, which makes me nervous for her vocal folds. Wait a minute. Y'all, she is a good singer. Holy shit. What the hell? Look at this guy he's kicking the button. Oh, okay, so in that brief phrase of singing that we heard, y'all, she's good. Oh, she's good. Let's listen. Oh. Nice, big forward resonance. Like, she's taken singing lessons. Either that or she's just really gifted. She has got a handle on where the voice is existing. And you're going to hear, so she's right now exhaling because, we're singing cleanly. She's got nice, solid compression. And she's going to back off that compression a little bit. We're going to get a little bit of breathiness. Make it a little bit delicate. But not like delicate, like sultry, like, enticing. Sick. Oh, man. Yo, she's so good. What? And then the inhales. Damn. She's good. Here's the thing, though. And this is actually an important spot. So when it comes to singing, she's hella good. She is on point. She knows what the heck she's doing. Whoops. But while I was jamming out, I heard something important. And I want you to pay attention to the quality of the inhaled. I don't inhale, so I ain't going to replicate that noise, and I'm really not worried about it. I want you to pay attention to that inhale, and what you're going to hear is rather than that creaky distortion, some of her actual voice come out. Because you can inhale and have your real voice like this. Wow. Hey, everybody, what's up? Right? It dries you out real fast, and it doesn't feel good. But you can, right? And so then rather than like the distortion reversed, that like comes through. I think it happens when she like bends down during the section. I think I should have gone back further. I'm sorry, guys. Right here. Did you hear that? Split second. And the thing about it is, it would take an incredible amount of coordination to inhale, exhale your speaking voice, and inhale, like, in that split second. I'm not confident that's what she's doing. Yeah. Now, with talent like hers, I'm probably going to sound like an idiot, and she's probably real freaking famous. This is the voice of Germany, so she's probably really big in Germany. I just haven't heard of her, so sorry. But if we were in a lesson, I would really push her to exhale those vocals, and here's the reason why. You know, when you're inhaling, you're not going to get as much of that, like, chesty resonance, and in singing, her chest voice is baller. Oh, it's so good. Well, I mean, everything. And so, like, if we could get her exhaling her screams, boy, oh boy, she'd be a powerhouse. She's already a powerhouse. Like, amazing. Anyways, I could talk about this vocalist forever, but we've got one more that we need to do. And man, that's the thing. Like, she understands placement. She knows how to belt. She ain't having any problems with that. So, yeah. I'm going to have to... Stephanie Stuber. I'm going to have to look into her more. Anyway. Next, and I believe last video, let's go. Okay, so if you have watched this channel, and if you're familiar with me, you know that I love me some black metal. It's probably my favorite genre of metal, really, and I don't necessarily know why. A lot of it sounds like people are just dropping plates in a cave, and I love it. Couldn't tell you. All sorts of black metal. So we had to have, do this guy. Here he is looking like a phantom. Because the video is so old and blurry. But yeah. Let's check this out. Actually, before this, I'm going to need some mozzarella for this one. All right. I'm back with my premium string cheese here. If I got any fans in Italy, don't be mad. I know that this probably isn't high quality mozzarella, but sometimes, yeah, I eat it that way. I don't peel it, I bite it, because I'm a man of conviction. Anyway, let's check out this last video. Let's go.
Das Song Contest ist doch größer als wir angenommen.
Ja.
I can already tell what's going on here. I think we all can tell. But I actually have some positives here. Let's start it over, because it blew my ears out. Start it over and let's see what's going on. Poor guy.
I have opened my veins, cursed by bloody grave. And the shadow of death, the reaper brought the tales of bad life, and learned to hear the days of thy creation.
Okay, so, bruv, I hear you. I see what you're trying to do. And the good news is I can get you there. So I want to talk about these vocals real quick. I want to talk about the positive. The positive is that in the sea, in the vast ocean of everything that's being done incorrectly here, his distortion itself, just the distortion, it's not in the right spot, but it sounds all right. We just need to take that distortion and put proper breath under it, teach him how to not shove on it, right? Because he's running at it like I don't know, I was going to use a football metaphor, but I don't know anything about football. So, running at it full speed, he's just charging at these vocals, maybe because he's nervous. He's tense, right? Oh, he's so tense. He's got tension in his neck. So basically, that distortion that sounds even and okay is just being slammed around inside of his vocal anatomy, and it probably feels like knives, you know? That's the thing. If you do metal vocals wrong, like really wrong, it freaking hurts. Like, let's be honest about it. That's part of the reason I'm so big on safety and why there are certain things that I just won't address because I don't think they're safe, because it freaking hurts, man. It does not feel good. Look at this guy. Pay attention to his facial expression when he tries to go back into it. He's feeling physical pain.
I have opened my veins, cast my bloody grave, and the shadow of death, the reaper brought the tales of bad life, and lurking in the days of thy creation.
And he just runs out of gas. So how would I approach it then? How do I help this guy solve these problems? So we'd like the inhaled guy, the Gudalax guy. I'm gonna get in trouble for that one. Like that, we'd start at the basics. I'd be like, okay, you know, with this guy, we probably wouldn't even scream for the first lesson, maybe two. That's actually kind of common. Sometimes when I get students who are like, you know, they need the foundations, they need the basics. We don't really scream in the first two lessons. I want them to scream when they're ready, and because it's, you know, with really new students, it's up to me to decide when they're ready. I want to feel real confident that they're going to be safe. So we'd start with the basics. We would spend a lot of time understanding that harsh vocals do not feel harsh, right? You know, doing like this noise, not painful. It's almost no effort once you know how to do it. And he's kind of doing like this big, he's kind of going for that like old school, that vocal. That's even easy to do as well.
You can kind of do it in a speaking voice right there.
Right, it's very thin. It's very black metal. Again, I wouldn't try to take this guy away from black metal. I wouldn't try to undo what he's doing. I would just help him find a safer way to do it. We would probably do some soft palate exercises, getting him to understand how to control his soft palate. Because if you can raise that soft palate up, you know, you can create a little pocket where your distortion can kind of swirl around. Because that's what we want to do, right? Of course, we're either putting our vocal folds together for fry, and they're going to be vibrating, and a thin stream of air is going to be coming through, or above that, our false chords are coming together, and those are vibrating, so you will feel something. But, you know, we're primarily distorting. God, I forgot how to speak English there. Using our soft tissues, the velum, the tissues of the pharynx. And then we would honestly take it from there. I would kind of follow his difficulties. So let's say there was an area he was really having trouble with. Well, I'd probably split it. I'd do a little bit of what he's good at so that he can feel proud and feel progress. And I would also really drill the areas where he needs help very, very hard, but with a lot of understanding and care. Because I think this guy could do a good job. He could get there, but we really need to work on the basics. Because this sound that he's making, I'm not even going to try to attempt it. Yikers. But we could get it going. Anyways, y'all, that's it for me today. Filming this video on Thursday, the 9th, because normally I film my videos on Fridays because I have Friday off, and then I'll schedule them for either Saturday or Sunday, but I'm going to be busy tomorrow. I am going to be rocking the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I don't care if you've already played it and you don't like it. I'm going to play it for myself and judge it for myself, so I don't want to hear any of that negativity. As you can see, I've got a little shrine of excitement here from my olden days. But that's besides the point. If you like this video, if you like this content, if you like metal vocals, or if you want to be a better metal vocalist, like, share, and subscribe. It really does help. I love seeing the community grow. I love hearing from you. I love seeing your approach to doing things, because really, when it comes to safety, I'm really, really strict. But when it comes to like generating sounds, you do a guttural one way, I do it another. Hell yeah, let's talk about it. So thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, share with your friends, leave a comment, talk about how you do vocals, talk about how you started versus where you are now. Let's hear it. I'm interested. And as always, many thanks, much love. I'm out. All right. If you've watched this channel, despite the channel, You know, I'm gonna leave that stutter in as a punishment to myself for my crimes.